Thank you for joining us here at the First Alert Desk on Atlanta News First Plus. Whether you're catching this on YouTube Live or possibly our Roku TV, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV, smart TV accounts, we want to take you through your top headlines in this latest installment of Catch Up Quick. We try to do this every single day for you. In case you haven't had a chance to tune into our newscast, this is a fast and easy way to get caught up on your latest headlines. As always, we want to encourage you to download the Atlanta News First app. Any and all major developments, breaking news in your area get sent directly to your phone so you don't miss a thing. I want to start, of course, with a beautiful view of Atlanta outside. It's looking like a gorgeous day. We do have some first alerts out for this week, weather-wise, that you'll want to be ready for. But first, let's talk a little bit about the major stories that are making headlines in and around the metro area. And I want to start with this one. There are growing fears right now of a collapse after a massive fire ripped through this Northeast Atlanta apartment complex. Now, these two people on your screen have been arrested in connection to the fire. Meanwhile, people who live in this area, especially nearby businesses, are dealing with the fallout. Just look at that devastation. We have a lot to unpack for you. Atlanta News First Bridget Spencer is outside at this apartment complex. It's called the Reserve at La Vista Walk Complex, and she has the latest.
The battalion chief here on scene tell us engineers are expected to come out here to inspect the property to make sure that it's safe for some of the tenants to go inside of one of the buildings to gather their belongings. Now, just to recap, the fire actually started late Friday night, just before 10:45, and firefighters are still out here making sure that hot spots are put out. Now, suspects Charnel Gunn and Robert Stokes, they were arrested and charged with criminal damage to property and reckless conduct for allegedly popping fireworks on top of the roof. They could appear in court as early as today. Meanwhile, dozens of people are now displaced, looking for another place to live. And there's also a big concern that Building 1000, where the fire was, could collapse.
As you can see, the whole roof is missing. That's crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
At this juncture, with the amount of damage and the amount that has collapsed within the center of the building, it is looking like ultimately the building management will have to do some detailed demolition work.
The battalion chief says they actually could be out here for a few more days, making sure the hot spots are all put out. If you do travel along Cheshire Bridge or La Vista Road, you might want to be sure that you are prepared to take a detour. In Northeast Atlanta, Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
And new this morning, we're also learning the identity of a 25-year-old who was shot and killed over the weekend. It happened along 81 Peachtree Street, which, if you're not familiar with the area, is just down the street from underground Atlanta. It happened around Sunday morning at 3 a.m. Now, responding officers said that they found the 25-year-old man with multiple gunshot wounds. He was rushed to Grady Hospital in critical condition and unfortunately did pass from his injuries. Now, Marietta Schools has identified the victim as one of its own beloved teachers. Jason Ogbaumau taught at Marietta Middle, the school district, saying in a statement, quote, "To his students, Mr. Ogbaumau was more than a teacher. He was a mentor, role model, and a source of inspiration. He will be deeply missed by all those who knew him." Really tragic. Now, so far, police have not made any arrests, or at least announced any arrests, nor have they shared details about who they believe may have shot him. That investigation very active and something we continue to follow both on air and online. We'll keep you updated. All right, and into some ongoing news that we've been tracking since we first broke it to you really weeks ago. Now a third inmate who escaped from a central Georgia detention center just last month is back in police custody. That makes 3 out of 4 total inmates who made their escape. Authorities say 37-year-old Jennifer Barnwell was found at a home in Augusta on Sunday. Now, officials say they also found large amounts of drugs. Barnwell is one of the 4 inmates, as I mentioned, who escaped from the Bibb County Detention Center. That took place on October 16th. So you can imagine the investigation, multi-jurisdiction investigation, that's been ongoing ever since then. Now, officials say that the men apparently climbed through a damaged window and fence and drove off in a blue Dodge Challenger. The FBI says one of the inmates remains remains on the run. His name is 52-year-old Joey Forner. He was being held for murder. Officials are offering up to $17,000 for any tips that lead to an arrest. And a story that is really 4 years in the making. You're looking at a picture of Hannah Payne. She is accused of murder in a racially charged case out of Clayton County. Well, she had an arraignment today at 9 a.m. before a judge. Atlanta News First reporter Rebecca Schramm tells us this is a case that's been long waiting to go to trial.
Hannah Payne's trial was initially delayed because of the pandemic, and then about a year ago, it was delayed again, this time because of some drama unfolding in the courtroom. First, let's catch you up on the latest in this case. In 2019, Payne, who was 21 years old at the time, tracked down and shot a driver, 64-year-old Kenneth Herring, after she witnessed him leaving the scene of an accident. His family claimed he was having a diabetic episode and was trying to get to the hospital. She claims there was a struggle and that she shot him in self-defense. The case prompted racial tension in Clayton County at the time, and after a series of delays, the case was supposed to go to trial last November, but her attorney, Matthew Tucker, didn't show up. The defendant told the judge her attorney had a stroke, but the judge didn't believe it.
I am going to find that Mr. Tucker is in contempt of court. He failed to follow the rules of court in notifying the court. I am going to also file a grievance with the State Bar of Georgia because of his behavior. This is not the first time I've had an issue with him failing to come and come on time.
Later that day, Tucker told us from his hospital room that he indeed did have a stroke. Court records show the case was later assigned to a different judge. There's a hearing in the case scheduled for this morning. We'll have updates for you throughout the day.
And that hearing taking place just a little over an hour, 2 hours ago, at 9 a.m. this morning. Our Rebecca Schramm will have a full report for you on Atlanta News First at noon, so make sure you check that out. You can download, like I mentioned at the start of the stream, the app and watch our newscast there as well. All right, and I like to end things on a good note here. It is an important reminder that it is World Kindness Day, and not only is it a time to spread some positive energy, maybe call a loved one and make them feel appreciated, or say hi and smile at a stranger as you're walking down the street, but it's also a great day for some sweet deals. Check this out. So Krispy Kreme is celebrating World Kindness Day by giving out a sweet treat. For the first 500 customers that go to their local Krispy Kreme, they will receive free donuts with no purchase necessary. The donut chain says it is hoping the giveaway will inspire people to be kind and share with others. I can definitely get behind that. What a better way to start a good week than World Kindness Day and some donuts to enjoy. So if you have a sweet tooth, today is a fantastic day to spoil yourself a little, maybe spoil a loved one in your life, a donut lover. And in the meantime, taking you back out to this beautiful look at our home here in Atlanta. Make it a fantastic day, spread some kindness, and make sure you stay up to date with our latest local stories. We'll have Atlanta News First at noon with your major updates on some of these stories that I mentioned and more developments out of Metro Atlanta, as well as on AtlantaNewsFirst.com where you can catch our latest stories. Have a great day.